CSS transitions always had one big problem. They need an old value and a new value to transition the values in between. But what if the element just appears on the page, like a dialog or a newly rendered React component? Then there is no old value to transition from. So how can we apply an entry transition for that? The answer is add starting style. It gives CSS a starting point for the first frame of the transition. That way we can finally transition elements that appear dynamically on the page. For example, here I have a native dialog element. This button will show the modal and this button will close it. I'm using the HTML command API here. But the important part of this video is the transition. Right now, there is no transition. When I click the button, the modal appears instantly. So let's try the obvious CSS solution first. On the dialog, we set opacity to 0 and scale to 0.8. That should make it smaller and fully transparent. Then, when the dialog is open, we can target that with the open attribute selector. We set opacity back to 1 and scale also back to 1. So we apply a transition for both properties of 400 milliseconds each. Let's see what happens in the browser. The dialog still just appears instantly. There's no transition happening. The reason for that is, when the dialog opens, it enters the page already matching the open attribute selector. So the browser only sees the final open styles. These styles over here get overwritten immediately. And therefore, there's nothing to transition from. And that is why we have to add the add starting style rule. Here we describe the first frame of the transition. Opacity 0 and scale 0.8. So this says, when the dialog first opens, pretend it started from these styles, and then transition it into the real dialog open styles. Now when I click the button again, the modal fades and scales into place. And that is the core idea of add starting style. The normal open selector describes the final visible state, and starting style describes what the element should look like for the first frame when it appears. Now with dialogs, there's one extra detail. Because the dialog is not only changing opacity and scale, it is also entering and leaving the browser's top layer. And properties like display and overlay are discrete properties. That means they do not smoothly animate between values like opacity does. So for dialogs, we also add display and overlay to the transition. And here we say allow discrete. Allow discrete tells the browser that these discrete properties are allowed to participate in the transition. So when the dialog closes, it stays rendered long enough for the fade out to finish, instead of disappearing immediately. And now we have both working, a fade in and fade out transition. But there's still one small problem, the backdrop behind the dialog. It still appears and disappears on the page without a transition. So we have to apply the same pattern to the backdrop pseudo element. First we define the visible backdrop style. When the dialog is open, the backdrop should have some opacity. Then we add a transition. And inside add starting style, we set the backdrop opacity back to 0. So now when the dialog opens, the backdrop also has a proper first frame. It starts visible and then fades into place together with the modal. And the same idea we have used for this dialog becomes especially useful in React.js, because React constantly creates new DOM elements for us. And when these elements are rendered conditionally, they appear on the page without a transition. And exactly that is happening on this very basic comment feature. I can enter a comment, and when I press the button, the comment gets added to the comments array. Below, we are mapping over this comments array, and for every comment, we add a simple div to the page. And that means the comments do not exist at first, which prevents any transition from working. Instead, we can set up the final visible state, opacity 1 and translate 0. Then we add the transition for opacity and translate. But before we transition to these styles, we need to define the starting styles. Here I set opacity to 0 and use translate to offset the element a bit to the side. That way we get a slide in transition where translate gets set to 0. So now when I post a new comment, it fades and moves into place perfectly. And this is why starting style is so useful. It allows us to transition from a starting style that did not exist before. Now before you start using this everywhere, make sure to respect reduced motion with a media query. That way, users who normally disable animations will not be disturbed by moving elements. Now that you know how to transition from starting styles, let me show you something even crazier, because CSS can now finally animate between two separate HTML pages. So you could create a transition from your index.html page to your about.html page, for example. Watch my full video on that, linked right here. My name is Fabian, and this was Coding to Go.